All right, you guys, how's everybody doing? It's Turkey Week. So hopefully you guys are ready for Thursday or Wednesday or Friday, whenever you're celebrating. My name is Lisa, not Julia. I'm glad to have you guys here with us. So I'm actually not going to be celebrating with my whole family. My son is in college and he's going to be home just for a few days this week. And he and my husband are going to go on a father-son hunting trip in Kentucky. We live in Alabama, so they'll be gone. But you know what? That is okay. And he's going to take his Thanksgiving holiday and go have a father-son trip. So that'll be fun for them. So we are excited. I'll be in Georgia. So don't cry for me, Argentina. I'll be having my turkey in Georgia. So all right. And y'all, I'm so excited about tonight because I'm excited every Monday night, but y'all, the funnest pastor's wife ever is with us tonight, and she's going to pour into us. And so for you, those of y'all who don't know, two things. One, I'm married to a preacher's kid, and my husband's mother, my mother-in-law, has been the best pastor's wife mother-in-law ever. For 28 years, we've just had just an amazing relationship, and she is just so gracious to me. That's the only way I can explain it. She's just a great mother-in-law. But as a pastor's wife, she does not have two things going for her that your host, well, actually your special guest speaker, I guess I'm the host, your special guest speaker has going for her. One, she does not have a top knot. And Ellen, I'm missing the top knot. I really am. I wish you had. No, you look beautiful either way, but love the top knots. Number two, my mother-in-law cannot dance like Ellen can dance. She's so good at it. I saw on the stage last week when you were, I guess they were coming to get their certificates. And you just got this groove, girl. Love it. So anyway, Ellen was at Leadership Excellence last week in Florida, and hopefully she will share a little bit more about that. But I was able to go to the Leadership Excellence, the 1.0. So that's like the first class you get to go through to once you become a jewel. And we were in Scottsdale for that actually a year ago, this month, a year ago. And y'all, it was the best time. If you're not a jewel, get to jewel status so you can do this. This is lots of other reasons why to go, but this is such an amazing few days. And Ellen was able to be one of the trainers there. So without further ado, Ellen is going to be sharing some awesome insights about leadership excellence, about what it takes to be a good leader, and about recruiting. So take it away, Miss Ellen.
Well, can y'all hear me? Yes. Okay, good. I'm, as you can see, I am in the bed. I am not sick. We are in Louisiana at my husband's family's, and this is the only room that doesn't have people in it right now, watching movies or games or whatever. So this is my quiet room right now until someone busts in like a kid. But I do not have my top knot working tonight because yesterday I was probably on, I don't even know what day of not washed hair top knot, and it was nasty. So I thought, you know what, I have a call tonight, let me wash my hair. But as you can see, I'm in sweats. Dave, I know you know what I'm talking about because we were talking about this at Momentum Meetup, how I don't have any makeup on. That's kind of just me sometimes. But anyway, I'm super excited to be with y'all tonight. I'll touch on leadership excellence a little bit. We had an event, our leadership excellence for our newest jewels down in Fort Lauderdale on the beach. Our hotel was literally looking at the beach, fantastic. And we went through, it is the 1.0 training that Lisa mentioned. And we go through everything from how to coach your team, how to love your teams, how to be compliant as a jewel, how to lead with consistency, lead yourself with consistency before you lead others. And it's pretty much everything you need to know to become a diamond. So it is the most in-depth. It challenges me still as a trainer. So y'all need to put that at the top of your list of things to do, is to become a jewel so you can be at the next Jewels of Excellence. I know where it is, and I'm just telling you now, you need to push for that. It's going to be incredible. So, but anyway, tonight I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about, I think my topic tonight is recruiting. And I made some notes on my phone because I wanted to kind of stay on topic and not veer off, because sometimes I can do that. And leave a little time at the end in case y'all have a question or something you're like, okay, I don't know how to get over this hump or whatever. I want to try to help work through those with you guys. But the topic of recruiting is always, it's like one of those things that we're all trying to get a grasp on. We're trying to find the best tips and tricks. Because sometimes we can recruit, I want to see, type in the chat if you, and another thing, I want to see your face. I see about 6 faces, maybe some more. But I don't care what you look like. Obviously, I don't care what I look like. So I want y'all to turn your cameras on so I can see your face. If you have a still of yourself, let me see your face. It's easier to train and talk to actual faces than it is to a black screen with a name on it or something that just says iPhone. No offense, iPhone. Now it's Pamela's iPhone. Okay, girl, we're getting closer. But that's one of my tips, is when you are doing a Zoom call and you are like, I want to find out, let me see your face. We host a call once a week. It's kind of a leaders, a runners type thing. And we make them turn their cameras on. I know, Lisa, you're a part of a group that Genevieve, you not get on that call without turning your camera on, or she will call you out. Straight up, she will call you out. So anyway, that's one of my little things that I'm like, you know what, that's a good idea, because I don't feel like I'm talking to a real person sometimes when all the screens are dark. But anyway, when we're talking about the topic of recruiting, a lot of times we do a lot of recruiting, and you might go, oh, I want to win the Nikes. Put in the comments if you earned your Nikes in October. If you signed 3, maybe you earned 2, maybe you earned more than 2, but if you earned your Nikes, put it in the chat. I think the month before, Tracy got 2, get it, girl. Maybe the month before you earned the watch or 2 watches. I mean, Christmas is done, right? So when I think about recruiting, Plexus does so many things for us as far as make incentives each month for us to earn. And when I first started with Plexus, I've been with Plexus, it'll be 9 years next month, at the end of the month. And we did not have any incentives in the beginning. Lisa knows. It was like, if you don't want to work your business yourself, you're going to have a hard time being successful, because there wasn't any carrots to dangle. It was like, you want to do this business, you want to be successful, guess what? You better, rubber meets the road, go get it. So the fact that they are giving us incentives to kind of drive us every month is fabulous, because I'm a very competitive person and I like to earn stuff. I don't really like the stuff as much as I do just like, I earned it. And now as a leader, I challenge you guys, you got to be earning that stuff. If you're like, oh, that doesn't motivate me, well, I already have a watch. I hope none of y'all said that. I already have a watch, or I already have Nikes, or I don't like Nike, or whatever. No excuse. You need to earn that so your team sees that you earn it. You have to step out there, because guess what? If you're trying to recruit and you want your team to recruit, but you're not recruiting, we got an issue. So I want to kind of jump into my first point. If we are recruiting, and because I don't know about you, but when I recruit people, I want them to do the business. Do y'all want them to do the business? Put in the chat. I want to recruit people who want to build a business. That should be every single person on this call. It's just one of those things. I mean, I am always looking for an Ellen to assign to my team. Somebody that wants it for themselves, somebody that is a self-starter, and I don't have to drag them. Does anyone out there feel me? Do you have to drag people on your team? Does anyone have to drag? Raise your hand, put it in the chat. Y'all, we do a lot of dragging, right? Because we think if we can just drag and pull these people, something is going to spark in them and they are going to want to do it. I gotta tell you, not happening. Okay. When we're recruiting, one of my top tips is if you're wanting to recruit a business builder, you need to be posting about the business, on a regular basis. The more you post, it's amazing to post about testimonials and products. If you're like, I know everything there is to know about all the products, ingredients, all that stuff, awesome. Post about it. If you post mainly about the products, you are going to get customers who want the products. You do not expect them to go, oh, I want to work this as a business, because you are advertising for products. We need to be doing that. But if you are really like, I need this as a plan A, it is currently my plan B, I need it as my plan A. You need to be posting about the business on a regular basis. And with stories, Instagram stories and Facebook stories, you can do that every single day. Everybody gets a little nervous if you're like, you want me to post every day on my feed? Totally up to you. But you should be posting every single day in Facebook stories and Instagram stories about the business. There's a million business testimonials out there. You yourself have a business testimonial, and don't think you don't have one just because you're not making diamond money. If you're making $100 extra a month, or you're covering the cost of your products, you have a business testimonial. That is income coming into your house that you didn't have before for posting on social media or reaching out. The more product testimonials and the more sciencey, green, researchery kind of data and stuff you post on your Facebook and your Instagram, the more customers you're going to get. And y'all let me know, do you feel like you have more customers on your team right now, or you have more business builders on your team right now? Y'all put it in the chat, because I know what I have, and it is the same thing as what y'all are typing. I have a ton of business builders because I am a diamond, but I also, when I'm recruiting, I still get a ton of customers. So that tells me, when we have more customers, that means we are not talking about the business. When we reach out to people, we're not talking about the business, which that leads me to my number 2 point. We have to be reaching out to people about the opportunity of Plexus every day. Do y'all do winning day? Do y'all know what I'm talking about when I say winning day or the Plexus day? Y'all tell me if you do not know what I'm talking about. Yes. Teresa has that. It is basically everything you need to do to bring income into your business. The vital things that you need to be doing at least 5 days a week. If I am someone on this team and I'm trying to go diamond, and I want to go diamond faster than anyone else, I'm probably going to work that 7 days a week. That's just me, because I have the time. I will make the time to do the winning day. That winning day sheet includes reaching out to 3 people every day specifically about the business. That is one thing that if you're like me, I will do everything on that sheet, and I will leave the business asks till the last, because I don't love to do them. it drives me out of my comfort zone. But if I'm not confident in talking about the business, I'm probably, like I do, I'll work all the way around that sheet and I will do everything I'm supposed to do outside of that. And I'll leave that for the last and I'll rush through it. If we are not comfortable about the business, guess what? We are not going to attract business builders to our teams. The kind of people are watching you, especially now through the end of the year, because everybody's going to be thinking weight loss and gut health and restarting and all that. But everybody's thinking about that. But even more than everybody is thinking about, I got to get our finances back on track. And if you are not currently talking about that in your feed, reaching out to people, asking them to consider the opportunity, asking them if they could use an extra holiday cash, you're making a big mistake, because now is the time to be doing that. People to reach out to, if you're like, oh, I have some dream teamers, I really want her to do the business. Here's the people that I wrote down. These are the things that I'm looking for in a business builder, someone who I want to come and work this business with me. I want someone positive. When I look at their posts, they are a positive person. They are not ranting and raving about negative. If I look at their feed and it's negative, I don't want that person. I might love that person. They might be my friend. I do not want them on my team. Because guess what? When they have a bad day, they're going to be negative about Plexus. They're going to be negative about everything, because that's just their person, their personality. I want them to be energetic. I want to be able to see that they get excited about things. They have joy. They are a driven person. Just because that girl at work is like, man, her life is falling apart, she needs this business. Y'all, that's probably not the person that you need to come onto your team and be that person that's like, all right, girl, let's do this. That's probably somebody you need to have more touches with. But that girl who her life's exploding, personal life's a mess, finances are a mess, everything, that may not be the person that you need to come into your business and work with you. And someone that is discerning. And you guys know what that means. Someone who can discern. They're emotionally intelligent to where they are not, you're not seeing like polar opposite stuff going on Facebook. I try to avoid people who are overly political. Either way, I don't care which way, just, that's all great. But as a leader, when we are training at Leadership Excellence, we tell people, that is fine to have political views, but that's not really helping your business a whole lot. And I'm not a political analyst, so I'm probably not going to bust out there and say anything. But that's what I do when I reach out to specific people about the business. Also, another thing about when you reach out about the business, follow up. If you reach out about the business to someone, probably the first time, maybe the first 4 times, you're not going to hear anything back from them. And a lot of people will quit and go, they're not interested. This last week at Leadership Excellence, Robin Sullivan, who is an incredible diamond. She's one of those friends of mine who she stayed Emerald 3.5 years, but she never stopped doing the things because she knew and she believed in this opportunity. She actually quit her full-time principal job at Gold. When she was Gold, she saw the opportunity in this business and she's like, I'm doing this at Gold, y'all. My husband would have killed me if I quit my job at Gold. But she believed in it so much. In 2020, when the world was blowing up, she went Sapphire, and then I think a month later went Diamond, and then re-entry. That is how fast her business exploded, because she was doing the things and she was looking for discerning, positive, energetic, um, you know, emotionally intelligent people for her team. But there was a girl, specific girl that she followed up with 87 times. Robin went back and counted how many times she had reached out to this friend. She had all those qualities that she was looking for. She knew, like, if I could ever, I'm going to follow up with her, because y'all, you know how many times people follow up with us about stuff? A bunch of times, until our mind gets right, until we feel like it's the right timing for us to do something. We're not going to do it until we feel, I'm going to do this. You have to continue following up. Robin followed up with this girl 87 times. And finally, that girl contacted Robin and she's like, I want to join. So Robin says, okay, well, why do you want to join? And she said, I need the products. And so anyway, when she was looking at welcome packs, she goes through and she sees one of the welcome packs that had a star by it that says fast start eligible, because we used to have some welcome packs. Some of y'all might remember when we had, I think some of them are designated for fast start bonuses. And so she goes, well, what does that mean? And Robin was like, she goes, I was almost in disbelief, because she was like, what? She said, why are you asking me about the business? And she goes, why would I not ask you about the business? You've asked me to come do the business all these times and I'm ready. And Robin was just saying, it was almost a shock to her, because she's like, why are you asking me about these things? And she goes, because you asked me. I've seen enough. I'm ready to do it. That girl's a diamond. She signed up and went, I think, diamond in 2021. I mean, it was something so fast. Within a year, she was diamond. But again, it took 80. I don't know how long a period of time that was, but I don't know about you, but I will follow up with someone 87 times if I know they're going to catch that vision just from the follow-ups and seeing my post and all those things. So keep following up. Next, talk about the monthly incentives. To every single new VIP you get, you need to be talking about the incentives. Oh, Ellen, well, what if they don't want the business? What if they only want a reset? Okay. Not an excuse. Every single order that comes through my website, if they just want to reset after they purchase, in 24 hours, I am reaching out to them with the message that says, I will read it to y'all. Hey girl, I don't even know if you'd be open to this yet, because you just purchased, but I have to let you know about the cash incentives for the month, just in case you might want to refer someone who can actually order directly from you. I just want to plant that little seed. And a lot of times they don't say anything. I'm like, oh girl, I haven't even got my products. I can't talk about products unless I've actually taken them and seen all the differences and lost all the weight and done all of, that is the answer we get all the time. But I keep dripping on people. I had a girl who joined me for the reset, and I started dripping on her about the business. And I was so nervous, because it's one of those people that I do see all the time at church. And I'm like, because I still have those feelings whenever I reach out to people. And so the day, y'all, this is how last minute I was. The day of Momentum Meetup, I'm at Andrea's house. I know Dave was there. I'm trying to think if anybody else was on this call was there. I was like, hey girl, I don't know if you live by Andrea, but if you're not doing anything and you're wanting some free food and to see a bunch of fun girls, come join us. And I sent a picture of the big charcuterie thing that we had. I bet you when 30 minutes later, that girl was at the door with her son. She was going to a soccer game. She goes, hey, I just want to stop by, because she knew a couple of people there. And when someone comes to an event, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, I hope it's a good experience for them. I hope they meet some nice people. I hope this doesn't make them awkward or they won't talk to me anymore. We create all these scenarios in our head. She stayed for the whole thing. And then when she got home, she said, hey, I hope we have some time that we can sit down and talk about this. She wasn't going to talk to me about the products. She wants to talk about the business. So y'all, every single VIP that comes through, talk to them about the monthly incentives. Start there because that's easy. Say, hey, I don't know if you just signed up, you just joined, you just ordered your reset, but I just want to let you know what our incentives are for the month. And I like to send them a graphic, a very simple graphic that, Plexus sends those out every month, just so they can see how much money they can make. And I think this month it's like $400. So I like to tell them about that, even if they're not interested in the business. And lastly, this might step on toes. You have to treat this like a business. If you want to make a couple $100 a month, maybe throwing 5 to 10 hours a week on it is great. If you want to make full-time brain surgery money, you need to probably put in 30 to 40 hours. Some people aren't there yet. They're like, Ellen, I'm a teacher. I do this. It's totally fine. If you are working this, if this is something that you are absolutely serious about becoming the number one source under your spouse, under whoever, this needs to be your main source of income. You need to put in the time to do it. If it's a hobby, work it like a hobby. If it is something that you want to be a full-time job, work it like a full-time job. I know there's not enough hours in the day. If you work a regular job and you have to go into the job or be on the phone all day, do it at night. That's what I did when I was working full-time. I did a lot of this at night, y'all. 9 to 11, 9 to 12 after my kids went down. That is when I worked my Plexus business. And sometimes I did not, I never missed any of my kids' activities. I never missed things because you're like, oh, you have to sacrifice and miss all these. No, you don't. You don't have to do that. I might have missed out on a little bit of sleep, but that's about it. But I'm telling you, it is worth all the blood, sweat, and tears. It is worth all the time someone said no or someone turned off their subscription. It is worth it all, y'all. I promise you. But anyway, those are my top tips for recruiting. And I want to kind of leave time now if there are certain questions or you have something that you want to ask that's even not related. I'll be open to that as well.
Yeah, you guys unmute yourself or you can type it in the chat and I'll ask it. But we have her for a couple more minutes, so might as well use her very wise brain. While they're doing that, come up with their questions, Ellen, do you want to talk just a titch more about last week?
Sure.
Maybe about your favorite part, because I know there's a lot of good activities and there's lots of good training and lots of good fellowship, but I also know that when I was at Leadership Excellence, Jules School, we worked. I mean, like we were there like 9 to 5 every day, and but it was such good focused learning, so anyway, I loved that they had us all at like circle tables and getting to know each other and getting us out of our comfort zone. And something I was going to say, you were talking about comfort earlier. If anybody's seen the movie The Greatest Showman, P.T. Barnum, the guy that plays P.T. Barnum, he says, comfort, the enemy of progress. And I always think about that when I think about, but it's not in my comfort zone. You have to do it anyway. And even though you're Diamond, you've been in Diamond for a hot minute, you still have those feelings of, I'm a little nervous, but you do it anyway. That's the difference, feel the fear, feel the insecurity, feel the uncomfortableness, but do it anyway. And that's what makes a difference. So what was your favorite part last week? You guys can either type them to me, or you can just unmute yourself when she's done. But what was your favorite part, Ellen?
I don't know. It's really fun to see like all the jewels, because there are so many jewels I don't know that were brand new. And the very first time I went to Jewels of Excellence, it was right when the program started. I was I was a diamond, and I was so intimidated walking in the room because I was all of a sudden a diamond among the diamonds, the Sonia Dudleys, Helen McFadden's, the people who, Sarah Marbles, the people that were like the queens. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not worthy to be here. And I think a lot of people walk in the room, they don't feel worthy to be there. But then they form that camaraderie at their table, and then you get new sidelines who are jewels that have so many cool ideas. And I absolutely love that and I moved around tables every day. So I got to meet a new set of people every day, and they were making these connections and strengthening their bond with Plexus, corporates there. Alec, one of the most endearing, he did several endearing things while we were there, but he stayed for every minute of the day. He and his wife flew in from Australia. They had not slept. They'd been up 24 hours, and they sat in that training room and listened to every single session. And then if someone had a fussy baby, Alec would take the baby out for them so they wouldn't miss the training. That's the kind of company that we work for. And he also, I do want to show y'all this. Alec was my favorite the whole week. He wrote a little sticky note for every single attendee, and he put it on their computer or wrote it in their notebook, a little note from him of encouragement. And so I just really enjoyed seeing, like, this is who we are. It's a culture like no other. We will see people come and go, and they will bounce to companies that promise everything and give nothing, and they're terrible. We work for a group of people and work with a group of people that is like no other. And that was probably my favorite part. That was all over the place, Lisa, but that's what it is.
Yes, for sure. Alec and Tarl, they have such big hearts, and I think that definitely trickles down to the rest of people in corporate. And when we get to experience that, it's very special for sure. Roxanne has a question, Ellen.
Okay.
How do I follow up with someone at church who told me that after she had the baby, she would try Reset, that I've been building a relationship with on our women's ministry team? And she just posted about this spoonful of stuff that our former minister of music's wife is now selling. And many others have responded to her post asking for the details of this stuff.
Well, I'm assuming this is someone that wanted to do Reset. They had a baby, and then, when you have a baby, you lose your brain cells. So if it were me, I would probably let it go. Like Elsa, I'm gonna let it go, because I see you. It's kind of like, I see you, but I'm gonna be posting about Plexus, and I'm gonna be posting about the business, and I want to make sure she sees what I'm posting, because a spoonful of magic ain't gonna work for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? Because that does not address what is going on. And I'd be blowing up my stories with Reset. There is a bazillion photos of before and after transformations. We're about to have another round of them. I would be posting that, shouting that from the rooftops, because she might be talking about this, but I would also find out other touch points. Like if you see her at church, I would talk to her, and it's like, I want you to see what I'm doing, because I see you, girl. I see, without reaching out to her and going, hey, are you so, I don't want that. That's probably how you feel, is like, oh, I reached out to you so many times, and then you're doing this, but I want, let her watch you, because she'll be back.
Good point. Okay, Sarah says, my problem is when I connect about the business, I'm not sure exactly what to send them. I'm fine on the phone, but feel like I should have something to send. What are some tips on what to say or send?
Well, my first thing is, like, I like to talk from my personal background about the business. and talk from a personal standpoint of what the products in the business have done for me. If I go, hey girl, you can make the absolute worst thing you can say, don't say this, you can make $300 to $500 a month or whatever it is. Tell a personal story so because they want to know, does this work for you? Does this business work for you? I would let them know, like, girl, since I've been doing this, I've been able to make this. Ask them questions. Huge. Ask them, so how much money do you need to make in order to create margin in your monthly budget? How much money do you need to make, or that would make your budget balanced? Ask them questions, because they will end up telling you kind of where you can go with that next question. But instead of sending stuff, there's great resources that we can send, but I like to ask them questions to get them talking on real terms. And then if they're like, hey, do you have any information, or every once in a while you'll get somebody who wants you to tell them about the comp plan, I will send them a video or something about that. But I want to talk on real terms on what is it that they're needing. And then after that, if they're like, girl, I need to make $500 a month. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell them, okay, I want to talk to them about how to go gold. I'm not going to say gold because that's our vernacular. We use all these terms. Hey girl, do you know 3 people that they don't know what that is. We need to talk to them on real terms. So I would say ask a lot of questions.
For sure. And I think that we kind of get away from that sometimes, especially in the last couple of years. Nobody wants to be around anybody in person, and everybody just kind of has shut down. So hopefully we're excited to be able to get back out there and meet someone if we can, or get on a Zoom, get on the phone. And I think that connection personally is huge too. So,
well, and I think everybody's over Zoom. Zoom was our only option there for a while in 2020, but humans, we're not made to meet together on a computer screen. Our church was one of the very first churches that, like, they had to do the shutdown, all that. We were back in 2020, I think the first week of June, as soon as we could get out there. And it was like, if you want to come. If you don't, watch online. But now there are so many things happening that, like, we are not meant to meet like this. This is a great option when people are all around the United States, but just like Momentum Meetup, when corporate decided to do those, and did y'all do a Momentum Meetup like in person, to where you went somewhere in person? At first, we have some, everybody's got so many things going on. We were like, should we do one? Should we not? We'll just, I don't know. And then Andrea was like, okay, I'll host it. And I'm like, I'll be there. And then we just, like, everybody brought stuff. We set it up, and it was the most amazing event. And it's like, you realize, yes, we need to be doing in-person events. We've got to get back out there. If you're like, I don't want to do that, then okay, that's not for you. Then people are craving that. But we as leaders got to step out and make that happen. We have to make that happen. Even if it's like coffee with a couple of girls, or a Saturday morning breakfast, or girls' night out on Friday. Have those in-person events, because every single time I've had an in-person event opportunity for Plexus, 100% of the time I had a new level 1 that I invited. They signed up as a result of that opportunity. So I'm telling you, in-person meetings, it's a great way to build your team and recruit.
Absolutely. And as a side note, just like Ellen said, don't think that you have to have some big, huge thing. You could just get a few girls or guys and meet at a coffee shop, or meet around your kitchen table. And you don't have to have, the banners and the balloons and all the things. Meet people where they are as much as you can, and work with what you have. So I think it'll go a lot further than you think. So All right, does anybody have one final question they want to ask?
I didn't
All
have a
right,
question.
well, oh,
I didn't have
Dave,
I didn't have can you hear me okay?
yes.
Turn my volume up. I didn't have a question, but I did want to tell Ellen, I really appreciated those things that she shared about what you want to look for in terms of a business builder, someone partnering with you. And I think for a long time, I was struggling with, you can't pull everybody in because everybody is not going to be that for you. And I'm finding that, and one of the things that she said about being discerning, I'm finding I'm having to be more discerning because these are people that I want in my circle on a regular basis. And I think if we're not checking all those boxes, we have to really, I'm going to have everyone try share and go silver or whatever. But in terms of that business builder you want running with you, I love this list that you shared, Ellen.
Well, I love it. Thank you for that. I love that you said you've had to be more discerning, because I've had to be more discerning too. Over 9 years, I think, she needs this so bad, or he needs this so bad. And you pull them and yank them and force them into a mold you want them to be in. And you are the one that wants them to be successful. And when we are the ones that want them to be successful, but they're not, it never works. It never works. So thank you for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and something that Genevieve Ellen talks about is not to be desperate. Like, we're not desperate. So I've actually had to come remind myself not to come from a place of desperation, even though inside we may feel, oh my goodness, they would be so great at this, and I really need them to come work this business with me. So if you're able to come from a place of calm, in a place of, Kelly Lentz talks about this on her social selling, her writer's room. She has a program, it's really great. She's like, we're going to talk calm, and where I would want to use 18 different exclamation marks and all the emojis and everything, which may be my personality. Sometimes I need to just dial it back a bit. And the calmness comes from being confident in what we have to offer. So not only confident in the products, but confident in the business. And that, being calm, it shows that confidence. And I think that for a specific audience, that is a little more attractive, to not come from a place of desperation. So, and whenever you find those people with those endearing qualities and those great characteristics, I have to remind myself to remind them that those are their characteristics. That's what I see in them. Sometimes it takes us reminding them that these are the characteristics that I see in you. And that's why, because I've told people, I said, this is why I'm not giving up on you, because this is what I see in you. And when you finally come around and agree to do this with me, these are the reasons why, is because I see this in you. Sometimes that makes a big difference. Just like Ellen said, even if it's not today, when they're ready, when whatever situation that they have changes and they need what it is that we have to offer, especially with the business, they're going to remember all the times that you poured into them with all the different things that you see in them, and that's going to stick with them. So
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Ellen, so much for taking time out of your night, especially when you have your family just right there. And we're so thankful that you shared with us. So thank you, Ellen. Everybody say thank you, Ellen. And everybody have a great Thanksgiving. And I will say this as we close: please do not forget that it is Thanksgiving, and it is a wonderful week, and traveling and people are busy. However, now I'm not saying you have to post during Thanksgiving dinner. Please enjoy your family and the time, that you have with them. But also don't think that you don't have time to at least, wear something Plexus during the week or while you're traveling. If you have a bottle that just says Plexus on it, or a mug or a hat or something, because people still need Plexus even during the holidays. And that's just a really simple way to share. But enjoy your families. I can't wait to see everybody's pictures of all their family time and all the fun, yummy things that we're going to have. Discipline over not overindulging, right? So I love y'all. Y'all have a great night, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.